Okay, good morning, everyone. I haven't seen you for a while, mainly because most of the videos I did, I would do from my car. I've done a few from home, but I get a lot of inspiration or a lot of downloads when I'm in my car. I don't know how that works. But for those of you who followed me, you've seen my current car situation. Okay? And I'm not going to be driving that one for a while. But anyway, I'm still getting blessed in a lot of other things. And I ain't going to tell you what it is because, um, you know how your adversary is. He's like, oh, that's working for you. Oh, that's working for you. Oh, that's what he's going to try stuff just to get on your nerve. Seems like he would know by now. You can't stop the things that the Most High has for people. But I guess he could at least be annoying. That must be some kind of kudo for him or them or it or whatever it is. Okay, so anyway, what made me start doing this video today is because I used to do daily affirmations. Now, usually what I'll do is if I hear something that works, that I think will work, or that I think I could do, I'll start doing it at that time. I won't wait. All right. So when I started out on the 369 method, uh, if I was younger, I'd have been like, oh man, I'm not doing that. But I have been favored in the city. I've been favored going in and favored going out. All right. So I never really got into the daily affirmations. I guess you might consider me religious at some point, but I don't think religious people perceive themselves as being religious because I know I didn't. But I would go to church every Sunday. I recommend the Covenant Church of Pittsburgh. It's in the borough of Wilkinsburg. It's on Andrew Drive. It's off of Robinson Boulevard, across from the new East Hills. All right. 412-731-6221. I don't think they ever changed their phone number, but at any rate, you could find it. This is one of their shirts. I've been doing some extra work. CC, what does it say? Change, and I'm not really sure what that is because I'm looking at it upside down. But anyway, I recommend you go there. Their mission statement or whatever their church thing is, they're equipping the saints for doing the work of the gospel or something like that there. And you may, depending on where you are in your walk, you may feel that you're being equipped or not. But if you keep the main thing, because people do make things religiously or religiosity uh, measurement to things. Uh, like they'll say things like, "Oh, church was good today," or "You missed a good service today," or something like that. There. Okay, well, I want you to kind of look at it a little bit differently. So, whatever the church says is their mission, go there for that type of thing. So, for example, if their mission statement is equipping the saints, well, then you got the ain't part of saint down pat. So now you're just going to work on that little s and try to get yourself into some kind of saint status. Now, your view of what a saint is, maybe the view of what the Bible says a saint is, or something. It might vary a little, but if you look at the first saints of the church, uh, they were closer to ain'ts. Hey, calm down. Calm down. This is just an example. Yeah, those guys, I want to give them the credit that was due them because they changed the world, but it was horrible. I'm doing that. So hey, I'm not taking anything away from those personal accomplishments. This is just how I talk. Okay, if you have a different opinion of the original saints, that's fine. But I'm just trying to give you an example. Okay, so now a so I like the biblical description of saints because the original saints weren't like Mother Teresa's or the type of saints that the Catholics have to have a committee verify that you did 2 or 3 miracles or something like that. There, I don't know how they come up with their sainthood things because I don't really follow that. But anyway, I kind of like the biblical one because they were little. They might not be dressed in fine linen. I think John the Baptist said when a couple of people, the church police, came and asked him why he was baptizing people in water and who authorized him to do that. What do you mean, who authorized me to do that? Okay, that's just how people are. They say you need to be authorized to do that. No, you don't. It's like you don't have to be authorized to purchase an armament. You don't have to be authorized to do that, but you have to be authorized to do, carry it, and people can't see it, or you have to be authorized to walk around with it, or something like that. That's the funny thing about laws. A lot of them are just because they, to me, a lot of them they just seems to be a law because somebody didn't like something. Okay, but the Most High in His laws are to help you out, to lift you up, to keep you strong and moving in the right direction. Now I know it sounds like I'm going around and around, but I'm going somewhere because I wanted to talk about the daily affirmations and what had happened to me yesterday. Okay, I like to have a current example for people, and I don't typically want to use other people's examples. So, for example, my little brother, he's a walking, living miracle, and you wouldn't know it. I don't know about his if he has a ministry or if he turned it into a ministry opportunity or not, but it just seems like he is a miracle, and more people. He should reach more people with that. But anyway, I digress. I don't want to walk a mile in his shoes. If he asks me to, I'll go a second mile with him. But I'd like for him to have that testimony and for me to have an altogether different testimony. See where I'm going with that? All right. So anyway, I digress. So when I learn something, I like to try it right now. So, for example, if you teach me something, and if I like, let me try that. I'd like to try it now. And then if I keep it, then it was meant for me. All right. It isn't that isn't always the way I look at it, but I do try it. All right. If I feel like I could do it, I'll try it. If it feels like it's something that's good for me or maybe good for others, I'll try it. Okay. So I learned about affirmations. Now, the first affirmation that I learned was, let me see, I got to read this, called the first affirmation that I thought I wanted to try was called the 369 method. And I remember that we thought that there might be some kind of something not good associated with it. But as time goes on, I'm like, wait a minute. If I'm doing an affirmation and if it makes me end up thinking about the Most High, then I've been deceived if I think that the 369 is bad. Okay, I don't know. All right, so you guys are adults. But anyway, so this is the one I started with, and you're going to have to type most of this into your little URL. But I got this interpretation from the King James Version Bible. Okay, so, and the only reason why you're going to have to do that is because I didn't write down the scripture and verse, the chapter and verse, but I did write down the verse. And wherever you find it, it's probably Matthew. But anyway, it goes like this. I would say this 3 times in the morning, 6 times in the afternoon, and 9 times at night. Okay. And I did that for a while until something else took my attention away from it. All right, so it says, Verily, verily, I say unto you, he who believeth on me, the works that I do, shall he do also, and greater things than these shall he do, because I go to the Father. Okay, so that was the one I started, because at some point I would be like, you know what the deceiver means for evil, that the Most High will use for good. So I'm like, okay, I'll be at least as cunning as my adversary, and if the 369 is bad, well, then I'll do my 369 like this. Okay? So, because the Most High uses everything for good, I try to find things that will work for my good. I'm sorry. And I'm for the good of others. So now, I hadn't found that one for a while. Fortunately, I wrote it down. Let me tell you something, young people. Write it down and read. You don't have to. You don't have to read, an hour a day, 15 minutes a day, or something. It's just when you get an inclination to read something, read it, and I hope that it sticks with you. If you have a download or something, hey, you need to read something. All right, because most of the things that we do, most of the things that we experience has something to do with reading in it, or someone reading to us, or something like that. Like if you watch the news, they're reading the news, okay? If you watch a movie, they're using a movie script or something, okay? So most of what we have going on around us has something to do with reading. It's fundamental, fundamental, like fund it, like put something into it, invest in it, fundamental, okay? See what I did there? That was just an inspiration. I just got that one. Okay, so anyway, so that's my first affirmation, and I kind of let that one drop by the wayside. But recently, I got inclined to do affirmations again. Okay, now, this is what made me start talking to you all today. Is because the new affirmation I got is, I want to show gratitude for spiritual growth, financial favor, ability, grasp concepts, ease of transitioning, ability to sympathize, willingness to be generous, willingness to expand, patience with purpose, desire to share correctly. Okay? Because I'm just getting, you just get tired of people taking advantage of you. But, it doesn't matter. If you have something, it's going to be taken advantage of. That's what we do. We take advantage of situations and circumstances and knowledge and stuff. So I don't know why we have a problem with being taken advantage of. If you're a tree and if you have fruit, people are going to take advantage of you and pick the fruit. Now, you can't be mad because somebody's picking the fruit. I don't have any fruit left on my limbs or something like that there. All right. Just remember that story about that there was this person in the Bible named Jesus. I call him Yeshua. Sometimes I call him Hamashiach. Okay. Sometimes I call him Yahusha. All right. It depends on what my brain tells me whenever I'm talking about him. All right. So, for example, I just gave you 3. But the way I learned it is that Jesus Christ. Christ is not his last name. Okay, so his name was, in the Bible, it was Jesus or something like that. But his name was not Jesus Christ. So Christ was his job. Okay, and in 2025 now we know that Christ is consciousness. Blah, blah, blah. I probably could have learned that back when I was new in my walk, but when you first meet the attribute of the Son, the attribute of the Most High, when you meet the attribute of the Son, you kind of get consumed with his presence. And this is just an example. If it worked opposite for you, that's fine. Okay, so there is some reading, but not so much because the presence is so overwhelming. All right, so now I got this second affirmation, and here's the kick in the head. I found my first affirmations out of nowhere. It was a synchronicity. For me, now I have these 2 affirmations. And now I'll do both of these 3 times in the morning, 6 times in the afternoon, or sometimes in the daytime, and 9 times at night. But what got me, what was I found that first affirmation, and I wasn't looking for it. I actually hung up my first affirmation, or my most recent affirmation. I hung that up so it would be at eye level, so that when I see it, it would remind me to do it, since I don't schedule it when to say them. So, for example, when I wake up in the morning while I'm making my coffee, I could say 3 affirmations. Okay, or I could say the affirmation 3 times, or if I'm making my tea or whatever I'm doing, first thing in the morning, I could do it. But if I don't see it, it might not get done. And sometimes I have things hanging up, and I still might not. Hello. So, but anyway, I went throughout the day, and shortly after that, I found this original affirmation. You cannot make this up. So, if the Most High has something for you, it's for you. We had this thing, I guess, we had this saying back in Christian times, or Christianese, or whatever. Whatever the Most High has for you is for you. And that's pretty much true. He kind of let me fall off of the first affirmation, but he brought me right back to it. So, anyway, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Have a great day.